to my channel. So I haven't put anything out this last week. I've been working on some other things, so I'm back to a new video. The one thing I have been working on is the resin coasters, resin jewelry. So if you're interested in that, go back and check out my videos, because there's a lot of good stuff on there, and I'm going to upload one today about how to level them off. So I have really gotten into the resin. It's just kind of crazy. So today what we're going to do though is we're going to stamp on fabric, and we're using flour sack towels. These are they're kind of uneven, so you kind of have to fold them up so that you know your center and where you're going to stamp. So they're quite large, and what I did was I pressed it out really good, folded it in half, and then tri-folded it just to get my center where I would know where I'm going to stamp. And I'm just using like a cutting board on the bottom here for a nice surface. And then you can kind of see where I pressed, which gives you the center of where you want to do your stamping. So we're going to stamp right in this area, because then if you were to tri-fold the towel and hang it over your oven or wherever, you have it centered so that your stamping is going to show. So we're using these kind of rubber stamps that are specifically made for fabric. And I have an old cutting board here, some paper towels, and I'm using this Crystal Craft ink. It's for fabric, wood, or paper. So it comes in a variety of colors. So I have tested one thing, and we'll see how these do, because this is something new that I'm trying. I've never done these before, but I've seen a lot of them on Etsy, and I just am interested. So we're going to take our stamp and put it onto the napkin, and then we're going to take our ink and we're going to ink up our stamp. And you want to make sure you get, and there's different ways you can do this. You can purchase the other like bottled ink, and you can roll this on. There's all different ways that you can do it, but I thought I would try this first, and then we'll see how this does, and then I may try another way. So as soon as you get it good and inked up, get this corner over here a little bit more. All right, and so then you're going to turn it over and center it wherever you want it onto the fabric. And what I have been doing, because it kind of presses it down better, is I took a napkin and just took one of my ink pads and just held it down really good, pressed it. Don't let it move around, because then you're going to mess up your stamp. But this kind of puts it down on there really good. And then you just lift it off, and you've got a really pretty stamp. And we'll come back and put some more. We're going to do 3 of those across this. So we're going to ink it up again. I noticed it got a little bit in the center there, which it probably shouldn't have, but that's okay. One thing that I always say about anything that you're doing crafting, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. And it's the fun of learning new things. So, and then you could put you a piece of painter's tape across here if you wanted to get like a perfect line up, but these are pretty easy to be able to see. Let me get a clean paper towel, because I want to get that onto the paper towel, onto the cup towel. So then we'll take our ink again, and our thing, and press it down good. And then once you do this, you get your stamps on here wherever you want them. You're going to turn them upside down. Turn your cup tail upside down and give it a good hot iron with no steam. And I tested one already today that I did, and I washed it, and I will show y'all. It was, I mean, it's a tester, so it wasn't anything that that was perfect. I was just trying it on this fabric, and I wanted to see how it was going to turn out. So I washed it in hot water so that I could just see how the result was going to be. So this is the thing, you got to be careful dealing with this ink, because you don't want to retransfer it somewhere else on your project, especially if you're going to sell these. And I do have an Etsy shop that I put things up for sale on, so you want it to be as perfect as you can possibly get it for selling. If you're just doing it for your personal self, then. So that turned out so cute. So then what I'm going to do is, at this point, I will let this sit a little while. I will flip it upside down on the ironing board and put some hot heat to it, and then it's going to be ready to sell. So we'll do another one. Okay, this one we're going to try with the larger stamp, which is like this. So I'm just going to stamp this kind of in the center. Pretty nice. And I do notice that once you get your stamp a little better inked, it definitely prints better. So you kind of got to get it inked up. So it's a lot of fun to work with this stuff, though. So okay, so we did the stamping with the ink pads. So today we're going to try some acrylic, like fabric paint. So we're gonna do that. So we've got our cup tile ready here. I've got it all marked off as to where I want to stamp at. We've got our stamp here, and we're gonna put a little bit of paint out on this tray here and get it on our roller. So we want to ink up our roller, and we're going to roll it onto the stamp. Okay. Okay, so we're going to get our stamp inked up, or our roller, sorry. We're going to get the roller inked up, and then we are going to roll it onto our stamp. have to be careful not to go, and I see I got a little corner there I got to wipe off before I turn it onto the fabric. Okay, so let me wipe these corners off. And we're going to turn this over. We're going to kind of center this. Go down and we just press. Oh yeah, that turned out so nice. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do 3 of these on here. I think I like this process better than the ink pads. It seems to go. The ink pads, you kind of have to smush it in and it goes down into the areas that you don't really want it to go. So it's a little tricky with those. This just gets on the top of your stamp, which is where you want it, and not down into the stamp. Okay, so we're gonna line this one up here. Right here, and then we'll do one more. Oh yeah, these are turning out so nice. Okay, let's do one more, and then I'll wash this. We'll get another towel and change colors and do something different. The real trick is getting it good onto your stamp in all your areas, and that's what really helps it to go on to the fabric nice and smooth. Okay, so we're going to do one more. And I'm just kind of eyeballing this, so I hope these turn out fairly even. Okay, I'm gonna go right there. Okay. So that is done, and then I'm gonna let that dry good, and then we will put a hot iron to it, which will seal in those colors. Now, whatever you're doing it on, make sure in between towels that you clean up, because I'm gonna wash this, make sure that this, and I'm gonna wash my stamp because I'm done with that stamp. We'll move to something else, and we're gonna do another one. Okay, so we're gonna do another one with a little bit different paint. Let's see how this one comes out. I think the tricky thing about this is getting your stamp inked good, because if you don't have good ink on it, it just doesn't transfer good onto your fabric. I've tried several different ways. It seems that after you've used it 2 or 3 stamps, it's a little bit better coverage and it's inked a little bit better and you get such a better stamp. All right, let's try this and see. Get a little bit of this off. Make sure you don't have any paint anywhere around your stamp on the outsides because it will transfer onto the fabric. Alright, that was a good one. Okay, let me do a couple more on this one. Go this way first. Okay, we're going to try another one. All right, let's do one more. See, now these are coming out really good. And I put down some wax paper, which might not be the best idea. Just trying different things to be able to get this ink onto the stamp. I'll get one more good one on there. And wipe all this off. Make sure I don't have anything around the edges. Okay. Yeah. All right, so we got 3 good ones on that, so that's good. We're gonna let this dry, and then I'll heat it with the iron, and then I'm kind of pre-washing these before I put them on my Etsy shop, just because I just don't want any extra fading to happen once that the customer gets them. So I hope y'all have enjoyed this. It's a lot of fun. I tried 2 or 3 different ways, but I would appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and like my video, and if you would share this on YouTube. It helps to get my videos out there and grow my channel. And please subscribe and hit that bell, and it'll let you know when I upload the next video. So I hope y'all are having a great day, and this was a lot of fun, and we'll see you on the next video. And this is some of the finished stamping, which turned out really nice. Some darker than others. It just depends on how well you get your stamp inked, and it's pretty tricky. So you just got to really practice and work with it. So thank y'all so much for watching.